Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about something that's been blown way out of proportion. Context matters, and also reliable sources matter. And no, not the CNN show, because that's never reliable. It's regarding Trump's alleged use of the word shithole. Not necessarily the alleged use of it, but more or less the context in the way that it was used is being thrown around differently by different people who were in this apparent meeting. So anyways, an unnamed source, as usual, you know, an unnamed source has decided to go ahead and go public and say, yeah, he used this term to describe third world countries in a very negative light. Well, granted, a couple of things to take note here. Some of these countries are shitholes, and we all understand this. Shitholes why would they be leaving? Why would they be leaving? If it wasn't a shithole, why would they be leaving? Is Trump making derogatory statements to the individuals about the individuals? I don't think so. And again, everything right now is alleged. You know, you can definitely call a place a shithole. Detroit, for the most part, is a shithole at this point in time. Baltimore is definitely a shithole. When you start looking at what's happening within individual confines of these areas, you start seeing what the term shithole could be used for. It's not in the way that people are, like Ana Navarro, are representing. You know, they're getting totally offended. They get totally offended by all these ways that they're being used, that this term is being used, and then they formulate their own conclusion in their head and throw that out to their audience. Now that's pretty shady to do. You know, you see how they're misconstruing the words. Nobody really knows what happens. Yet there's some people within that meeting that are saying, "Oh, the context is being reported. It's not the way that it was." And there's one so supposedly reliable source, maybe a couple. I don't know. I've only heard of one. Is saying, "No, it was used to describe everything very derogatory." Okay, Ana Navarro, I'll put this on you. Go take a vacation. Go take a vacation in Haiti. Let's see what happens if I see your next pictures with you and your family all over the streets of Haiti, with all the trash and debris that's everywhere, with all the way that everything is just so fucked up in that country. Let's see you take a vacation there. I think that the answer is going to be no. I bet I can look through your entire Twitter thread and see that you've never gone to a third world country except maybe to report. Maybe. I don't even know that yet, because I don't know if you're a traveling journalist or not. You know, all I've ever seen you do is comfortable inside panels inside CNN's headquarters. That's all I've ever seen you do. So until you can actually go out to Haiti, until you can actually go out to South Africa in general, El Salvador, until you can actually go out there on vacation with your family and properly, honestly say that those places are not shitholes, and again, not the people in general, like you're trying to make your audience believe that this is what the intent was. God, I swear, it's so obvious to people who watch this. It's so obvious to see what you're doing. It's a ploy. It's all an act. You're just doing it and then you call him the racist in chief. Give me a frickin' break, man. It's like, no, you're playing on the narrative of what they're paying you to say. And I think that what you're doing is you're really damaging the reputation, again, not that this means anything, but your reputation with CNN is already tarnished. I think people look to you just to see what... I know I personally look to you to try not to get a biased view, but then I'm always 100% of the time left in disarray, like, oh my God, you guys are just lying through your teeth. You know, that one girl who was supposedly calling for peace and not riots after her brother was murdered. You guys obviously edited the footage and notably left out the part where she says, you know, we need our weaves. Take the fight to the suburbs. Go fight over there. I mean, you guys are being uncovered one story after the other of intentional bias, intentional propaganda. Until you can actually start to vacation. Tell you this. Ana Navarro, go vacation. Go vacation in Haiti. Go to the beaches. Go to the storefronts that they have with all the streets littered everywhere. Go to this ravaged nation. Go to the places where they traffic, where kids are slaves. You know, go to all these places and then come back And while you're there, why don't you just say that they are not shitholes? You know, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Now, these people in these supposed not shithole places that CNN is calling not shitholes, I don't see any pride with the people leaving these countries. Obviously, they're leaving for a reason. War-torn, ravaged, their lives are in jeopardy, starvation, etc., etc., etc. I mean, of course that's a shithole. That's the definition of a shithole. And they're leaving. They're leaving to a place that's not a shithole in general sense. United States of America. I mean, come on, people. It's like, this is a shithole. The term might not be correct. The way that he's saying it might not be appropriate, but it is a shithole. These places are shitholes. My God. You guys in your political correctness, actually agenda-driven political correctness. It's not even political correctness, it's agenda-driven manipulation correctness. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, again, overall, I think you guys are playing into a narrative and causing a ruckus within the United States, just to try to get everybody on the left and people who hate Donald Trump in general for no apparent reason to get all riled up. I mean, again, you're assuming all these things that happen, and you're throwing it out as news. And I'm pretty sure if you go on late night television shows, they're going to be making fun of this. And this again is like where the majority of people these days get their news, and they think they're informed. It's like it doesn't equate. I think you guys are all doing a disgusting job of manipulating the minds of people who are otherwise thinking they're getting reputable news. And again, that's the individual's responsibility as well to seek more truth elsewhere, not just in certain categories of these news outlets, comedy show, late night comedy show outlets. It makes absolutely no sense. You know, so there is a certain level of responsibility there that needs to be had by the individual. But you are ultimately where it starts. You are ultimately where it starts. And again, they're shithole places. That's why there's one-way traffic. That's why they're not going, nobody's going to move to Haiti. That's why nobody's going to move to Africa. That's why nobody wants to, you know, move into El Salvador. And then also look at Venezuela. I mean, it's everything is just, they're shitholes, people. Come on. Don't get offended by the use of the word. Don't get offended by that. Get offended that all you're doing is covering these small topic issues that are actually no issues of Trump saying things when you're not actually covering what's happening in these areas. You know, Haiti was always in this scenario, even before the hurricanes, even before all of this stuff that happened. Venezuela is already having its own issues over there, and that's because of policy and relying on unlimited sources, you know, for their country to survive. Get real, man. Trump is correct in this scenario yet again. I don't care how the term was used. It is they are shithole countries, and people are leaving them. Mexico as well. I mean, come on. If people didn't, if a Mexican was to compare Mexico and then come to America to get all these benefits and all of these, get their kids birthed here, etc. They're obviously going to look at Mexico as the shithole instead, because they're coming here for a reason. They're coming here so they can take their kids out of the shithole. Is there country pride there? The only country pride there is the pride that Mexicans have for Mexico is the fact that they can say they were born from Mexico just because of culture. That's it. But they really don't have a culture right now with the drug smuggling, the trafficking, the wars, the weapons, and the government oh God, the government, you know, being so corrupt. You know, it's just, I don't know. I guess overall my point here is this. You can use everybody who's against Trump saying this. Maybe you can be offended by the use of the word, but you cannot discount the fact that he's correct in the overall description of what these countries really are, of what these locations really are. Yeah, again, you know, Mexico with the cartel and their government and all this shit. Look, I even said shit right there. So get over yourselves. Start reporting the real news. Start reporting what's wrong with these countries. Take what Donald Trump has said and say, oh, instead of making news about, oh my God, he actually used this word. Actually go deeper into that. You know, go and say, hey, you know what? He called Haiti a shithole. Okay, let's find out why. Let's go ahead and support some evidence here. Haiti's a shithole because it's not managed correctly. The Clinton Foundation's tearing it apart. It has these hurricanes, these natural disasters that are happening, these earthquakes, and then say, okay, maybe this is what Trump was saying, and you know what, it is what he was saying. So again, you know, just go with that. Go with that, because that's exactly what his point is. It has nothing to do with the people. And now, granted, everybody's getting pissed off that he's starting to shift all the people, you know, shifting different countries, who we accept in, who we don't. Didn't close on DACA yet because there were some shady things that were going on in there. I applaud him for actually reviewing the information, and everybody else on the team. I applaud them for reviewing the information and not just giving in and signing to needless things like that that don't benefit America. So if he has to even out, like if more people do have to come in from Poland versus Haiti or whatever, so be it. Again, it probably has a lot to do with getting people who actually can assimilate and acclimate into the American culture. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think what you guys are doing is you're misrepresenting, bringing in people who he knows or has an idea that will have a better track history of adapting into American culture, versus somebody from a third world nation who's going to probably be shitting on the sidewalk and then washing their hands in a drinking fountain in the middle of the street, and then while he's wiping his ass, drink water from that same hand that he's wiping his ass with. That's what we're going to see more of America. Those kind of people from third world countries, they don't know any better. And you know what? They're the ones that are going to be considered to come into America. Now you see why we have to have a vetting process. Peace out, man.